Hi guys, Rogue Scrubs here, coming at you here with a paleo deck profile. I figured this would be a decent one. Charlie did really well. Unfortunately, time was a bitch, and the new rules kind of fucked him over on that, getting him a draw, so... Yeah. But other than that, did well. So yeah, we'll get right into it.
So I know this deck isn't kind of rogue as much as the other stuff we do, but it's still pretty rogue. Like, it gets like one top here and there, and I still consider it rogue. I wanted to try this deck out because I thought it was pretty similar to Satellar Knight. Not exactly the same deck, but I thought it was just similar enough to just play a fuck ton of back row to where I could play it and do well with it. I put this together last night. It's pretty cookie cutter, honestly. 3 Swap Frog, 3 Dupe Frog, and 2 Ronin Tonins. You really only need to play 2. You never want to play more of this card. And then these 3 are just insane to open. If you don't open this, you want to open this because you just set it. This card's ridiculous. Just searching off for this and stuff. I actually came to so many scenarios where I ran out of frog monsters to banish for these 2, because I was playing against Inferno. That's the round I drew against, where you run out of your, it was such a grind game against him for whatever reason. In game 3, it lasted 1 turn because then time was called and we had to draw. So yeah, but this guy, you just summon it back for free, make rank 2s, make links. This guy searches everything, and this guy sends it all to the graveyard and stuff. This engine's retarded, so yeah. And then I played 3 hand traps, Veiler, Ogre. These are the only hand traps I really like to play. I like this ratio. This would be max C, but I don't know. I feel like these hand traps are the only I like playing them because they stop Goki from making their board. They stop the firewall, but most of the time they'll have called by the grave, so really it doesn't matter anyway. I don't know. I just think these are just my favorite hand traps. These 2. And then this one I just like because if someone summons Danko because someone is still playing that card, I don't know who it is, because Red Reba's better, you can Veiler it, so yeah. And Veiler also just does things. And then the only spell card I play is Regeki. I was debating Reborn, but you only play the frogs, so it wasn't really, it seemed underwhelming. And then for the traps, 28 of them, 3, I don't want to try and pronounce, 3 of this one,
3 Canada,
3 of this one, and 2 of this one. I really like this one. It's just my favorite one because it's the one I can just activate and send a guy just randomly and
Tyler
just trigger stuff. Yeah, this one I think I really like. This one I like a lot because it's MST and I like MST. This one is pretty good, although I didn't like the ability to having to keep a card in hand. I felt like I rarely ever did that, so that's why I wasn't like it. I liked this one too. They're all pretty good. This was really good against
Book of Moon, MST, Karma Cut, and Foolish Burial.
For a few one-of traps, I played 1 Compulse, 1 Heavy Duster, 1 Storming, and 1 Mirror Force. I originally just wanted to play 2 Stormings because it clears the Goki board if you can lure out the Trigate. Actually, I thought these were all mandatory because I was always told that these were mandatory, but my friend who plays this deck a lot told me that they were misprinted in the TCG and that they actually aren't mandatory, and that's why they're getting all these reprints in the OTS packs, because they're trying to correct the text so they aren't mandatory anymore, which kind of annoys me, but whatever. Because I was playing Torrential and I was like, yeah, Torrential's so bad in this deck because I'm going to lose them, but they're not mandatory, so anyway. Compulse was pretty solid all day, because I played against Burning Abyss and I drew it, so yeah. And I drew this, he had Dante and 2 Burning Abysses, and he was like, alright, attack for game, and I flipped this and he was just stunned. I was like, what the heck. It was such a grind game.
Was 1 Compulse fine? Did you feel like that card could be played more?
I honestly didn't even want to play it. I didn't want to play many of these. They were I wanted to play these because they're kind of weird. Yeah. This card came in clutch against a 1 matchup where the guy took my Ronin Tonin out of the graveyard and I compulsed it to my hand and then discarded it for Swap Frog and Summon Swap Frog and stuff. Other than that, these cards are okay. Again, you could probably play anything over these. You could play the Spellbook engine to draw cards, which is what my one friend who plays this deck likes to do a lot. I just don't have knowledges because they're pretty expensive, so... Other than that, I like this card too because it triggers them in grave and it blows away back row, which is really good. Because you play anti-spell, so if they set them all, you can just blow it all away and summon a dude back. And then I played 3 Reckless Greed. This card was alright. I don't like it. I wanted to play this over Desires though because I didn't want to banish all the Ronin Tonins.
Now what about Demise?
Demise, I didn't like that either. It's especially because you have to keep a card in hand for whatever this thing is.
Dynamiscus, yeah.
And again, I'm gonna be special some of the times I'm gonna be special summoning turn 1, like to get a toad out turn 1. If you get a toad out turn 1, your hand's amazing. So I don't know. I just didn't like Card of Demise in general, again, because I'm also playing hand traps, and the risk of drawing those kind of sucks. I think this card is probably the best draw card for this deck, because like again, you can plus really hard off a toad, so it almost doesn't matter. But the not being able to draw really does suck. So whatever. And then the rest of the traps, 2 torrential. I'm gonna bump this up to 3. This card's really good in this format. Yeah, and then 2 anti-spell in 1 order. I kind of might just want to play 3 anti-spell because you can't get rid of this, and you could like burn yourself out sometimes. So like that's just one of those things. But I don't know.
I don't know, order is like such an auto win against Dry Strikers.
It is, so like, that's why I want to play it. But like,
not like we have those there locals. There's only like one guy who can afford that deck, so
yeah.
Brad. The last
deck. Like that's pretty much all these do. They're just for Sky Strikers, which weren't here today. So yeah. And then you played the Solemn package.
Even though the traps don't trigger, it's just necessary. It's broken.
I might cut these down. My friend who plays this deck was telling me to cut these down. The only reason I do is because Strike Torrential clears anything except for a Goki board, which is on the rise right now. You could play like 3 evenly matches too.
Well, doesn't the Strike any like Mirror Force clear board?
Yeah. Like Strike and Mirror Force is also good. And these 2 cards are good. I actually judgmented someone's Torrential today, which was funny. So yeah. And that's it for the main deck. Pretty cookie cutter, like I said. It's just traps and frogs, pretty much. If you can't draw a frog, or if you don't see frogs, it's going to be a little interesting.
Now, what do you think about like Backjack and Fiend's Grieving? And then like with the Card of Demise?
You mean Jack Black or
Blackjack or whatever it is? Yeah.
And Fiend's Grieving?
Yeah. So like Foolish, or and then you can play other things, but meh. It doesn't work out well.
I don't know.
Wouldn't replace like the Reckless Greed engine or anything.
No,
to get to more traps.
I think Reckless Greed's just the better version of those.
Gotcha.
And then the extra deck was not what it should have been. I played 1 of that and 2 of these. This is normal. This is what you should play. I made this like once today, and I almost made this once today. I wanted to make these a little more because this card's really good. If you get this on the field, you're gonna usually, if you get it with a trap under it, you're gonna be doing pretty well. And then this card's like a Delteros, and during either player's turn. And then I played 2 Toads. Really, you want 3? I just don't have 3, so I played 2, and it really doesn't matter.
Honestly, yeah, you can recycle it itself. I mean, obviously you don't want to be desperate to be recycling it, but the 3rd one really almost never comes up. If you've established 2 Toads, you probably won the game, right?
Yeah. Even though I never put 2 Toads on the field usually. I usually do like this with a Mr. Boy up top. Unless I have a Waking the Dragon set, then I just leave the other Mr. Boy zone open, so yeah. And then Cat Shark, this never comes out. I wanted to make this a few times against Infernoid, but it never came out. And then this, I never want to put this over Toad, so like I just put it in there for the shits and giggles.
Just in case.
And then obviously 3 Mr. Boy, the best link for this deck. I don't know what else to say about that. It's just amazing. And then I played some other links like Borreload, Deep Code, and Binary. I played this over Proxy because it's just bigger. And then I played, I played a Synchro. I played Beals because I was side decking Awakening the Dragons. And then I don't have the Falcon, and this is the most unkillable thing I can get out, so yeah.
Just happened to be what we had.
Yeah. Like I said, I built this last night, so.
Yeah, there you go.
And then I played Kaijus. You want to play Gamma Seal over these? I don't have Gamma Seals because it's expensive. But you can add them back off Toad, or not Toad, Mr. Boy. You can pitch them for what's his face, the Swamp Frog, and like and it gets boosted by Mr. Boy. So it's like if you have it on your field, so it's just so much better than these. Then I side deck the Dark Hole. I side decked in Twisters. These should just be heavy Storm Dusters because you can trigger your traps in Grave and.
Just always better most of the time.
Yeah. And then I side decked 3 Called by the Grave, 3 Dimensional Barrier, and 3 Waking the Dragons. This was alright. It never really stopped a hand trap. I just used it as a DD Crow, really. It didn't really do much. This, I never sided in. I didn't really see Pendulums, because that deck's kind of dead, but I just still sided it, just because. A lot of people around here still love that deck, so who knows. And then this, I sided because I wanted to try this for once, to see how it is. I drew these a lot. But they never got killed. They were just sitting in the background.
No one touched them.
So yeah, like,
and you get dust for themselves. It has to be opponent. Obviously.
It has to be your opponent. Like nobody ever touched my back row with anything. Like the only so that's what I was, and especially with the new ruling against the Trickstar field spell with this card just became a lot worse. So I don't know if I'd side these because I was looking forward to side decking these in Satellar Knight, but I don't know how I feel about that now.
The Trickstar.
Yeah.
Sky Striker being #1 deck. Yeah.
Yeah. So this card's just like I probably wouldn't side it again. I side other things.
Yeah. Last question. As far as what do you think about Scapegoat? If that would be any good in the deck, especially with the Borreload and stuff like that, or do you have to just play? It just take up too much extra deck space.
It takes up this. Let's see, the 2 Link Spiders, the Proxy, and the Borreload. That's 4 cards. And like, if you, how many Scapegoats do I have? Like 1 or 2. Like, it's like if I draw the second Scapegoat, it really doesn't do anything. Like, I don't know. Like, I like Scapegoats in deck like these. Like, I liked it in Teller Knights, but I almost would rather like have the negation. Although like with like Red Reboot out now, like you do need that to save your ass against like shit like that.
Yeah.
It's just I'd have to think about it. Like in this deck, I feel like it has extra deck space. Like these 3 really aren't needed at all. And to be fair, like I'd never made this card. I don't even know what it does. I don't even think this card's necessary. So this is like 5 slots you could use.
That you could just be playing.
Yeah. Like,
so
these aren't.
You could even potentially guess play cherries instead. Yeah, for like 5
you
extra.
could play like cherries targets. Like I was debating that but I only have 1 cherries.
Yeah.
So
I have the other one and it's a Druze.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's pretty much it. It's just a pretty cookie cutter trap paleo deck. So hope you guys enjoyed the list.
Yep. All right. Thanks. Rogue Scrubs out.